I'll wait a few minutes, wait for a few people to join, see how many numbers are online, and then I'll proceed. I'll give it 3 minutes, and we'll start then. Just waiting for a few minutes to pass so we have more people to come online, and then I'll start. In the meantime, I'll just put soft music on. Relaxation, soft music. I've done this one. No, that's not what I want to. If you can hear me or not hear me, let me know. Just let me know the sound quality is okay and the video is okay on the screen. And just say, someone just type in okay if you can hear me and if you can see the screen quality. For those who didn't watch my last video, it was a relatively smash course on trends. So you can look at my last video stream and understand what's happening with price, why we're here, and what the key levels are is in my last video. And that's why I said this is a continuation in the description. So the background is there, and I'm not going to cover most of that background. I'm going to cover what's likely to happen, what key levels there are at the moment, and so on. So on my right is historical chart. And I'm going to keep it in black and white. And on my left is today. I'll talk about some methodologies as well, how I do things. The music's not the best. Let me change that. I need more of a cool music. Cool music beats. Yep.
They say humans are social animals that can't live alone. But you can live pretty well by yourself.
So my name is Sam. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. and it's 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't know where you are, but good morning or good evening or good or good night. Okay, we can start now. So this is a black and white background. I think in the last video, some people want it in black and white rather than white. So if you prefer another screen color, let me know. But I think this is clear on the screen. Price action. Let's get rid of the indicator for the time being. Now, just a quick summary. What happened? Very quick. I'll get rid of those moving averages as well. It's well known that we had this formation. And I'll need to put the log on for that to work. Okay. You can argue it's like that. What time frame have I got? I got the 1 hour. Let's put the 4 hour. That's better. The 4 hour time frame. Right there is the point where people exited. So as soon as this trend was broken, right there, and I'll make that in white, that spot there, that's where the exit sign was when we broke this trend. This trend was seen to be, and I'll put it in this way, this was seen to be an upward, not upward, ascending wedge, okay? And fake out, key support, and obviously key support. Let's get rid of that. Just make these Fibonacci's disappear for the time being. And let me mute that alert. Okay. So that is a chart that's showing that there's a weakening of price action. You can see prior to that, we had a few macro formations, and I did say yesterday that was a high, and this was a lower high, and then we made a new high, and a new lower high, high, lower high. That's a lower high there. And when we dropped past that, we had a change in trend. But this is the main one on the daily. So as long as we had this trend high, the moment we break this trend or this level, we have a lower high. I mean, we have a change in trend. So this was a key level because the trend, this is by definition a change in trend. And therefore, we will see a bit more lows to come. And I did explain yesterday, and I'm going to explain right now, what are the key targets. So that was a target spot. Based on the ascending trend, ascending wedge, methodology is the pivot points as targets. In this case, it was more right there, right that wick. And you can say that this is the range. Okay. I'm just putting key lines at the moment. Right, now I will use Fibonacci. From swing low to the swing high. And you can probably see how things line up. So I can adjust this a bit onto the Fibonacci, and also this one as well. Just roughly. You can see why this was resistance, this level. It was a key fib level. You can see why this is a resistance, another key fib level. So we had the bounce. Price basically did the A, B, C impulse. Now, looking at this, all these levels, I suppose, this is a major resistance now, and it's been proven because on the way down, price tried to maintain this. So that's a key resistance, this Fibonacci, and I did say in my past that this is a key level to break based on this structure. And it's usually stems from this way back here. And I'll shade that. What can I do with it? I can do it with red, can't I? Okay, so that's a key resistance level moving forward. And if I was to get the level, and just grab it from the chart. So that top and the next one up, all-time high. I think this is the main one. Golden ratio. Yep. So I don't want to overdo it with the chart. Possible to zoom in, okay, no worries. I do have a 4K screen. Can't read the values of the trend lines, okay. I'll make the letters a bit more bigger. Okay. So this range is going to be the major resistance moving forward. And so this structure basically has levels. And these levels are defined by the Fibonacci levels. And so just to give you an idea where my, I suppose, pivot points are, right there. So let me just change that color so you can see. That's a pivot point. Swing low, all the way to the swing high. That's your Fibonacci range. And if I was to get that Fibonacci, and I'll put it in white so you guys can see it. How's that for you? And now I'm going to remove some of these yellow lines just to show you the clarity, because they do come together at some point. And I'm going to get this one here, and this is going to be definitely our support zone. Okay, so an ascending wedge that was broke down. Price, once we broke that, price drops. Now we had this bounce. Now I'll show you where the resistance is for this. Swing low to that swing high, and you can see why this level here is going to be resistance. Okay, so that is our 0.618 from there to there. So that band, historically, you can see resistance, support, resistance along that band. So that's the beginning of a strong resistance band. So what we're having now is price coming up. And let's do that. So price is going to come up, and that's not the color I want. Let's make that, I don't know, make that blue. Okay, blue's good. So I suppose you want to know what happens to price here. We're going to have resistance at this level, and you can see exactly there, it rejected at this fib level. My expectation is up to this level here, somewhere in that range is acceptable. So if that that will be about 53,000. Okay, that 53,000 is the main resistance. And if I was to look at historical charts, that will show you. I can find you fractals that will be the same. Price will hit that and come down. And I'm saying it's going to come down here. I'm not saying in a straight line. I'm just saying that's what price is going to do. Okay. So look at that. This is the 4-hour chart. What I want to do now is give you the bigger picture in tandem. So I'm going to go in and out. Let's get that there. Chuck in there. That I don't need for the time being. Now let me put on the weekly, just to prove the point. So we need to, there's two methods to this, or a few methods. We're going to use Fibonacci to find levels. We're going to use weekly charts to find levels. And we're also going to use moving averages to find levels. And we're going to look at formations to complement that. So what we have right now, that key level, that's a key level. I'm going to put these in different colors, so when we go back to the 4-hour, they're going to stand out. Okay, so let's use blue for the weekly. Over here to the body of the candle on the weekly, and I'll get the values for you guys. Give me a sec. Don't need the top. You pretty much will take some time. What I also want to show you is this wick right here. So that is our support range. Okay. So price has been rejected from the top based on that formation. And we said that formation was an ascending wedge. And usually a formation like that, the price usually returns back to the root, which is this range. So I'm looking between 42,000 and 45,000 for price to come back down to and find strong support. That is the weekly method, using a weekly chart method. Just to make a point for you as well, I'll get see this indicator down here. You can see how it's descending downwards, and the grey section is below the 50%. So let's make it a bit clearer for you. That section there. So you can see on the weekly, we have downward pressure. We need to see it start turning upwards to have an idea that we're getting a reversal on the weekly. At the moment, the weekly has been dropping for a while. So as long as this was dropping, it was very clear to us. See this green RSI and the red RSI? The green's already past 50% along with the energy. So that is downward pressure. So I'm using this particular indicator, and I'll throw in the RSI, or RSI MACD, all the same. Some people are familiar with the RSI. Let's put that as white. So we need to keep our eyes on these indicators as well to give us an idea of what's happening. At the moment, we have what looks like a bearish divergence taking place. So eventually kicked in. So it took a while. It's usually three touches, 1, 2, 3, and then down. So this time it worked. Thank God I got that right. It's usually the third one that pushes it down, what I've noticed. And the RSI 50%. Let's get the RSI 50% level. Is that 50%? Yep. That's 50% there. That usually means when price hits below that, it's a change in trend at the macro level. So we've got a long way for a change in trend. But what I want to do is keep an eye on this level, because that's been based on this current trend. Okay, let's do another color. Green. Okay, this is my important line. So if this was to go below it, I will have concern. Not the red one, but the green one, because historically we've seen it in the past that this is our support line on the weekly. So this is headed south, and I've got two indicators give me an idea what's happening on the weekly level. What I would like to see on the weekly chart is when price comes down, we have a reversal, and I would like to see this green one start twisting around, and I'd like to see this start moving up. If it passes that level, then we have momentum back on our side. Okay, so on a weekly basis, we need to keep an eye on it, because there's no guarantee that the bear market will kick in or the big formation will change. So on the weekly level, we have a higher high, a lower high. A higher high, which is this, and we need to keep this level to keep the trend. So that's our local high. Lower high. We need this to be a lower high. Okay. That was our last lower high. If this stays here, great. that means the trend is still going. And I did say that this is possible to be a new trend line as well. It is possible. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one. And if that's our new trend line, then we could see that kind of formation. That'll be excellent. But we don't know that's going to happen yet. So a few points I made there in terms of trend and the levels to look at. Let me just clean that up. Okay. So we've got the indicators in the picture, and we've got the levels on the weekly basis. What to look for on the weekly to gauge if this market's going to go bearish or bullish. At the moment, no concern. This is normal. And I did speak about the weekly 21 moving average, that one there. I believe, see how we've got the weekly range, support range, and we've got the 21 moving average coming into the same range. Now we've got two elements that complement each other. And the third one, so 2 is enough. The third one, if I go to the wick, is a Fibonacci. And then we have the golden ratio also supporting that. So we have 3 elements telling us that is a strong support level. And then the fourth one, this week here, previous resistance. So we had resistance here, and that will tell us, and we had support here. So that is another element telling us strong position to buy in. So that's where I'm going to load up 100% and go in. Is that going to hold? We don't know. We will see. But we know that we're going to get a response going up. So when price comes down here, we're going to get a response. And I'm going to talk about the type of response that we'll get. But I'm just trying to make the case why this is a good zone. Just added a few components to it. On the weekly basis, now we can get rid of that. And that gives you that weekly perspective. Now let's go to the daily. Okay, just give me 1 second. I'm just going to get a glass of water. So I've got a dry throat that might go away. Give me a sec. Okay. Now let's talk about this chart. So that was based on the weekly, so we don't need that. But you can see even the bearish divergence is there as well on the daily. What we have now, I'm going to try and rush this. I usually rush things, so let me slow down a bit. At that impulse, downward impulse, rejection on that trend line, and we hit it south. Okay, so let's zoom in on that. Okay, now let's look at the indicator. What's the indicator showing? So this same indicator basically told us when the green crosses the red and the 50%, time to get out. Or, I suppose, not get out completely, but that's it there. So 50%, lines cross over, beautifully tells you sell. So that red candle was a signal. Actually, that green candle was more, but these combination on candles, this combination on the candles on daily tell you that we're going to pull back. Doesn't tell you how deep, does it? But this formation does. Okay, so this formation did tell us that this is price is gonna behave based on this ascending wedge. And we can make that yellow actually, because we've got a black background. Okay, so we knew that there was going to be a drop based on bearish divergence. Even this indicator shows you that there is a bearish divergence there. And also the RSI. So, and we've got the cross. So there's a lot of reasons this was going to go down. We have price coming down, and as I said, this is the daily, this is a weekly 21 moving average. You can see that coming into that picture. And all this stuff that we just, all these lines are here from the weekly chart. So that is a good support area, and won't speak more about it. So daily, that's what we have. My expectation is this. So if we have the zone, this is my zone, the buy zone. Now, what else supports the buy zone? One more element, and this is Fibonacci extension, swing low, from swing high to swing low to swing high. You can't probably see it. If you, I don't know what amount of knowledge you have, but what we have is good evening from Denmark. Okay, you're from Denmark. Cool. When I did that swing low, swing high to swing low to swing high, the fib extension is right there. Yeah, 1. Which also, again, supports a business case that is a good range. There is a possibility in some cases where the wick will go down that further. And that's about 39,500. I don't think we're going to get that. But my gut feeling is the whales know that we're going to leverage here and go up. So if I'm going to get in here with leverage, they're going to look for liquidation. So they might just push the bugger a bit further to stuff us up. That's just a theory of mine. I can't prove it because it's very predictable. G'day from Poland. No worries. Glad you join us. And so this is the only complication I have with my trade is how much I'm going to leverage, because it's very predictable for a lot of us that this is a good place to buy and a good place to leverage. So if I was you, don't over leverage, because they might, if you over leverage, say whatever that later, you might get liquidated with that wick. So be careful. Don't go too greedy. And that's my thoughts at the moment, with that possibility that they might just push us a bit further to the 1.272. Now here's another aspect that I'll bring in. It's one of my key observations, and it's happened many times before. If I get that price moving all the way down, as you can see previously, you see price come back up significantly to another high level, and then price drops deep as well. So this scenario could well be here as well. Okay, and what I've observed with this scenario, you see that range that I just did? You grab that and you add it to that, and it's almost the same depth. So let me just make that a bit shorter, because I'm using too much of the wick. So actually this is right there, and there you go, and it does fit. So this is the A, B, C, D move, and I've observed this a few times. A, B, C, D. So that tells you when A and B equals C and D. It happened there, and it happened many times in the past. Question is it going to happen again? So I'm going to keep an eye on this, and I'm going to just try to anticipate that. So if this is where we get the bounce, okay, if that's our bounce, I'm going to copy that. Hopefully it doesn't change size. Depending on where it drops to, so let's see, right there, that's overextending, sorry. I need the body of the candle. If I was to say that was a price, I'll be watching to see if this eventually comes up to this level. If this was to climb back all the way up here, then I would expect this to be a shorting area, because that is the ABCD scenario. Okay, so I'm looking at that. I'm looking at that as a possible move as well. Doesn't have to be, but it's one scenario that you've got to keep in mind, because it's played out historically a few times. What I expect from this level is price pretty much coming all the way down here, and then this is the formation I'm expecting. This is going to be obviously, let's just get rid of that indicator for a sec. Where is it? Okay, there we go. And I get the pen. So if we say this is going to come down all the way down here and possibly go up, actually let's do a better job on that. That's not right. Come on. Because what's happening now is it's hit here and it's gone up, right? I'm saying it's going to hit about 53,000, roughly, give or take, somewhere in this pocket. And then price is going to drop, and I'm going to say it's going to hit around this area. So you can also say that this is a left shoulder. Okay. So now we're going to look at that kind of scenario: left shoulder, head, right shoulder. All right, inverse head and shoulders. So if price was to do that, if it was to get rejected around this area, so far we get the left shoulder, and I'm saying likely that it's going to come down here. That could be the head, and slowly some formation. So we're going to look at a big macro structure here taking place, and it's going to take a while. So that scenario, it could be, let's go here, see this scenario here, this formation, that's a big macro formation, a reversal formation. It could be something similar to this. It could be, so what are the most popular reversals in crypto? A descending wedge, right? A descending triangle. Yeah, you can say this one's one of them. The breakout points there, and up it goes. Here we have, on the small time frame, we had inverse head and shoulders. So it's not going to be clear, but it's very clear if you look at it in a proper way. So we're going to have three basically scenarios in my mind of a reversal pattern, which is inverted head and shoulders, a descending wedge, or a descending triangle. Just keep that in mind as we go forward. Okay. Now let's look at this particular area where we just see this bounce. clear that up as I showed you the indicator. Now I'm going to get the Fibonacci from here. Is that the Fibonacci? No, that's the wrong one, sorry. Need this one here. From there to there to the top of that wick. Usually what happens, so I'm going, now we're talking about the local price action. 0.5 is usually where we get a rejection. We didn't quite get there yet. So now price is right here. That's current price. I did sell there just before. Just saw a little bit of formation. I'm going to look at buying back, and I'm going to expect it potentially, if, well, we'll see. I'll go look at the formation. But basically, I did think it was going to hit the 0.5. It just fell short, you can see. So let's look at it on the 1 hour chart. So this is the daily. So let's have a bit of closer look up. Maybe the 4 hour will do. So usually what happens is the 0.5 Fibonacci to the 0.618 on the rally is the rejection level. So these two levels, and you can see the 0.618 is right there, and the 0.5 is right here. So we didn't quite get there. We got rejected at this current one there. I don't think that's the end of it. We've still got a bit of time. So if this is pulling back, it might just touch this fib level for support and then go up and find this level here, 0.5. And maybe a double top before it goes down. I'm not drawn to scale, but for now what we have, just drawing the lines, it doesn't mean anything at the moment. But we're just seeing whether resistance, this trend line could be something significant. Okay? So this might be the case where if this comes up, touches there, we'll find that level as a resistance, as a pivot point. As we've got resistance here, come on, pen. As we've got a lot of resistance here, and we've got a lot of resistance here, we might just get resistance there. So when price comes up, pivot point, 1, 2, 3, down. And I'm thinking something like that. If I was to currently look at what price is doing, that point and that point, I'll just do a straight line. And you can say that is a descending wedge at the point, this point, not confirmation or channel. So leave that in there for the time being and see what price does. But I like to keep this yellow line on top. This bottom one that is not important. So we need to keep an eye on this yellow line. And in many formations, this is a breakout formation. You need to look at historical charts. Where's my other one? Here we go. And you can see maybe this is the case. Okay, if price was to come down here, it will give us a good reason to buy out the breakout. This is not to say it's going to go really high, but we're seeing at the moment some creation. Why did I take the fib? Well, depends on the fib you're talking. But do you think it will drag Ethereum and others alts down with on its way to 42K? It will do that. So let me answer two questions here. I'm not sure which reference they're talking about, which fib level when I did it, but while this is doing that, we can look at the alts and what's happened with the alts. So Ethereum's done a real good bounce from there. I don't want to change colors. So Ethereum bounced much more stronger than Bitcoin. So the alts are still doing well. And my suspicion is, while this is going slightly sideways or upwards, the alts will be slightly recovering more better. And the alt season hasn't finished. As long as we don't lose this level, the alts are going to be very, very strong. Because we'll come back to alt and Bitcoin dominance, but my expectation is there's episodes. So if you look at, say, Ethereum, if you look at Ethereum, it did a rally, Bitcoin dropped, it dropped harder, and then it's rallying, and it's going to continue rallying, and it's going to do some formation for Ethereum to break out. And we'll look at Ethereum, and we'll look at Bitcoin dominance. I don't want to spend too much time here then. I don't want to be too much time online explaining a lot of things. But let me see what you're saying here on the previous time frame. Okay, that was the previous time frame was the daily. Let me get my thoughts here, otherwise I'm getting derailed. So price, in my opinion, will get rejected at this level here, this range, or this run. If price was to break this level, it will get rejected there, but then I would expect a bigger move up from there. Okay, so if price does break this level, if this was to go above, I would expect it to hit here before. So I expect this range to be the major resistance and price to fall back. But I don't expect price to come back down here. Not now. I would expect this to go all the way up and then get down. But this is very bullish if this was the case. But we need to see that. I just don't expect that to happen anytime soon. Just the way this bounce was, it doesn't show too much. I think it shows that the market's uncertain about certain things, the way that's been recovering. If you look at previous bounces, like here, you can see a lot of wick action. And when there's a lot of volatility, even better. It just shows that the market's really into it. Here there is a good response. Actually, it is a nice response, but yeah. So if you look over here on the left, see how price hits, and I'll do it here. Let's see what it does. So when price dropped to that level, it got rejected on the 618, and it still went that deep. And if we do somewhere else, give us a look. Just a sec. The price came all the way down. Yeah, so this is where price, even price hits the 786, still goes all the way down. So not necessarily showing us a strong move. Anyway, so I'll cover that. I gave you the reasons why I find this yellow line so far resistance, and until we break it, I still see the downside to this level there. Okay, let me get rid of some of this. Okay. I think I've covered that area. So we covered the local price. So we had a lot of traffic here. More reason why it's going to be resistance, and more reason why the alts aren't going to be doing anything into it quick. We also have this level here, just to see this level here. This was a neckline. And we have, if we drag this neckline across, we have a support. And now you will see that it's going to be resistance as well. And if I use the wicks on the previous one up to this level on the left, you can see it does equate to the 0.5 level as major resistance. So this, where price is now, is major resistance. And we'll need to see how Bitcoin responds to that. At the moment, it met right on the 382 fib and got rejected. And we need to see the rest, but it still supports my theory that the 45K is the range moving forward. Now let me look at the question. What about LTC? What is your guess? Yep, that was your previous time frame. So the daily, you said the daily, why did you take the fib to the top, which is the green candle, instead of the red one? Okay, yeah, that's a good question. So if I was to go to the 4 hour, I'm using this line here as the body or the main level, and I'm pretty convinced that this is a fake out, and that is a fake out. So if I think that's a fake out, then that is the true level, in my opinion, and that's why I used it. That's number one. Number two, when you do fib levels, you gotta make the fib adjusted so it matches where price is. So if you see this fib level at 1 and so on, you adjust the fib level slightly to make price match that fib level and your reference points. That is the key to doing fib retracement. So if I was to give you an exercise, if I pick this from here and go all the way to the top, I need to adjust this where it makes sense. So right here makes sense, right? Because why? Support, resistance, and so on. Now let me move it up a bit more. That makes sense. If I was to move this a bit higher, it doesn't make sense because a lot of the prices are missed with this. So hence why I think that's a fake out. And if I was to bring this down here, it fits perfectly, doesn't it? Not, well, 100%, but it's close enough. So when I do that, see this fib level, support, resistance, all my fib levels are complementing the price action. Not here, but here. So my one is right there, not this fake out part. Hopefully that answers the question. Makes sense now. Okay, cool. What else? Do you think Ethereum? Okay, so I think I've covered that. I've covered Bitcoin on the local scenario. I covered Bitcoin on the big scenario. I gave you the reasons as to why this level is very significant. And for the ones that missed my last video stream yesterday actually, I'll give you a reason why the 21 moving average is significant, just quickly, for others' benefit. You can see the 21 weekly moving average, 2017, and we've got the 10 weekly moving average. You can see the 21 weekly moving average became support. Became support there, along here, 21 weekly moving, yep. Yeah, you have those wicks, but in general, the body of the candle is above the 21 weekly moving average, but it all touches it. It closes above it. So on this bull run, we had a few scenarios where, yep, price has a bearish divergence. If you see the 10 moving weekly average here, so if I was to make this bigger, bit focused, you can see as we get closer how the 10 weekly moving average played its role here. 10 weekly moving average right there, and when it broke, the 21 weekly moving average became significant, and then it became support again. So this is the fractal I'm referring to for us, and there was a triangle formation here, right there, and when it broke, so in our case it's an ascending wedge, in this case a symmetrical triangle, and when it broke, it went down to the 21 weekly moving average, and that's the fractal that I align our current price, and I said yesterday that this is our 61 or 60K range. So we have this kind of scenario, we might have this kind of formation, a strong bounce like this on the daily. Once it hits our target, so there's one candle on the daily that's a bit of a battle, and then the second candle, yes. Can you? No, not now, I'm busy. Okay. That's my little daughter asking for chocolate. No chocolate at this time, sweetie. Yes, no chocolate. She's 3.5. Okay, so you can see this behavior in the past gives us insight to what's potentially going to happen. And you can see here pretty much this ascending level is very interesting. Our price goes up to that previous all-time high, gets pulled back to this trend line that was part of this. Finds support, then goes up. And this looks like to me either a triangle or an inverse head and shoulders, doesn't it? So a reversal underneath the 60K is expected, but it's not going to do it in Monday. So let's go back. Actually, here's another factor. Here's another factor. That scenario I was saying, ABC, plays a role there. Yeah. So now we're back here. Yeah, always worth to ask, right? Yes. So let's hide all this. Let's move this all the way up, so I don't have to do it again. Okay, so from a holistic view, you can see what's going on. Price is coming down, finding resistance at this level. Now you can see the red line, which is the 10 weekly moving average. So this is the daily chart. You can see how that was support. Let's hide this formation. You can see how the 10 weekly moving average, this one here, was acting support. It's not finished yet, but that's pretty much it there. And that's aligned with the Fibonacci level. So when you get two elements, moving average, Fibonacci, if they both say the same story, then you have a good case for support or resistance. And you can see how this one just came down after it dropped. And on my previous video, I did show to one of the guys I'm dealing with what the key level was to get out. Okay, so that's all we have for in this space. Now let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Let's see what it's doing. Let's look at the weekly. It's a bit confusing with Bitcoin dominance because there's a lot of wicks on this side. You can see all these wicks. We have one wick here. But if I was to use Fibonacci on it, hopefully it gives us some clarity from the bottom to the top. There you go. Can't make this shit up, can you? So when price hit, when Bitcoin drops, or when this touch that spot, I suppose that there was actually, that is the rejection spot, and you can see how that this level here, which is the Fibonacci, right on the dot, has confluence with this support level, resistance, support, and obviously we've got to get rid of that. That's distracting. And can we take this factor, these kind of behaviors into it? I don't think so. I think that's way back, 2017. But you can see how dominance and the support or resistance level is important. Now, what we had last time, if I was to get this out, right here is another important level. Okay, and what we had previously, that level. And many of us were saying that this is left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And we did speculate that this was going to be head and shoulders, and so far so good. Now, if this is the case, if that's a head, what's the target? So potentially, if that is a clear head and shoulders, and that's a breakout area, Bitcoin dominance, once it breaks this, well, it's already alt season. It's going to be a huge alt season if it breaks this level. And as long as we fluctuate here, which I expect it to do, we're going to have a lot of volatility with the alts and Bitcoin. So it's not going to be a clear path for all the alts. It's going to be a bit nasty for some alts and good for some others. Now, if I was to look at, I'm going to just jump across to one of the coins I'm keeping an eye on. Sol, I can't remember what it's called, SOL, but that's a beautiful formation. And you can see it found support. Compared to others, it's still on an uptrend. And let's get that black. So the formation is great, and it's in an uptrend, and those are the coins that you want. You don't want to go into coins where they're going below, but they made new lows. You want to go into the coins where the trend is still going up. And in this case here, based on Sol, we had a big accumulation area here. Big accumulation area. That one there. And we had the breakout. Basically a nice entry there, based on this little trend line. Once it breaks, yep, off it goes. A number of formations take place. So that I'm already seeing pretty much two major formations. This is the third, and we might have something like that and keep going. So I think that's what the alts are going to do. For some, could be a wedge, and then continue on. So in this case, that's what I'm looking at Sol for. It's done. It's keeping the trend. And if you look at, I don't know. Let's look at Ethereum. Let's go to the daily on Ethereum. Ethereum is, so that was my line. Whoops. That was a key level for Ethereum as a resistance, and it made that formation, that triangle formation. Whoops, I shouldn't have done that. That was our moving average, and you can see here for Ethereum a triangle with the inverse head and shoulders here, and it hit its target. Right, this triangle's target was that red line, 1.618 extension. And I drew this before the drop, and I had this as support, and now you can see the wicks. Even though the price went really down, look how they recovered back to that support line. So in my opinion, if you want to buy into Ethereum, this red line, if it does come back, buy it. Yeah, so that is about 2,100 to 2,200. That is the buy zone for Ethereum, and I expect some type of macro formation with lower highs eating away at this level here, this major resistance, before it goes up. So that is mine. Do you have a VIP channel for signals? No, I'm working on that. I'm working on my website for training, educating people on a subscription base, and I'm also looking at signals. And yeah, I like to not just trade. I like to interact with people, as you can probably understand. Training is a boring job, even though it's rewarding. It's boring. You want to have interaction with people. You want to talk to people, and it's also feels good when you can help people as well. And so moving on, this is Ethereum, and first formation, second formation, third formation, or second two formations before it breaks, similar to this. But definitely the alts are going. Ethereum is one of those ones you should have. The trick to this is always, let's see, let me pick one. I forgot the chart here. Okay, I don't have my chart here. Is your job is really to accumulate Bitcoin, okay? And which ones help you accumulate Bitcoin the most is the ones you flip with. If you can't convert to cash, flip back and forth with Bitcoin and Ethereum. So there is. I'll give you an example. ADA has Ethereum pairing. So here's my Ethereum chart with Bitcoin. Let me just get rid of all these. Okay, if I've got any more, that's it. So this is my, no, I shouldn't get Binance, I should get Polynex. That's better. The reason being is Polynex has more history. Here we go. So this is my weekly chart for Ethereum. And you can see a lot of people got this wrong, and I'm glad I got it right. They were using this channel, and I accidentally used it as well until I looked more into it. we're using this as a channel, okay? And we were using this to gauge Ethereum, when to buy and when to get out. And it confused the hell out of us when this level broke. Okay. Let me just fix that up a bit better. Sometimes it's good to do your own work. So this was a channel when we were looking at it. This was the breakout level for Ethereum. Okay, there was a nice wedge. This is again Bitcoin pairing, right? So this was a sign. Right there was a sign to get in. But if you didn't have this historical part, if you didn't have this, it's going to be a hard job to figure out what to do. And you can see my lines, okay? So I use this line here along the bottom, and I use this line along this pivot point, and then I saw, okay, that explains. That's why we broke this level. The support was there. So then it made sense to me why Ethereum and Bitcoin Ethereum wasn't bearish when it broke this line. It was actually the formation. So the formation for Ethereum really is not this channel. Now it's even more bullish. I'll tell you why. If you know, if you do yourself a favor, right? That's an expanding wedge, right? That is a bullish scenario. And if you look up Livermore, I'll do it here for those who want to. Livermore speculative chart. This guy, I learned this structure on the right, top right. You have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you can see this cylinder. It's called an accumulation cylinder, and then you have this big up break. Okay. Ethereum against Bitcoin is doing that. You can see it. This is 0.7. So is that 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it's working perfectly. Here is the trend that I picked up. It broke it, came back, retested it, and bang. This is going to, in my current, using this method, that is my target there. So that Ethereum, in the long term, from where we are now, it's still got another 132% to go against Bitcoin. As a minimum, it could probably go all the way to the top, and that's much more. Do not miss out. Now, here's another thing. Ethereum currently has this neckline. This was a neckline. Hold on. Because I've been using, that's the neckline. You can see that neckline, right? All the way across. And if I was to make it clear to most of you, will see it right now. It's a complex left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. There's a complex inverse head and shoulders. So where are we here? I didn't make the line good enough, so I better fix that up a bit. So that's inverse head and shoulders, and it's broken that. That's when I went really bullish. I just flipped. Now, Bitcoin is likely, Ethereum is likely to get resistance at this line here as it goes up. Okay, there's levels of resistance where you got to get ready to flip back and forth with Bitcoin. So when this gets to that, so it's done, it's already wick up. Now it's going to continue up. this is the next resistance level, I think, and we're going to get a pullback, and so on, and we're just going to keep going up. Okay, macro formation weekly chart on the daily. Here's the resistance I can see right now. Pretty much pick, you know, it's not difficult to pick these buggers up, right? So that was a selling point. How much is going to pull back? Well, it's already pulled back to there. That was the previous resistance and support area, so that's great. This is your accumulation area. And if it comes down here, buy it. Flip it to Ethereum. If Bitcoin's to drop today, tomorrow, whatever, comes down here, flip Bitcoin to Ethereum. It'll continue on. That's my opinion at the moment. If Bitcoin was to drop, so if Bitcoin was to drop to, if Bitcoin drops below our support line, actually BTC, where was it? It was Coinbase. If Bitcoin was to lose this level, then we're stuffed. Then this level is not going to hold. So you got to factor in Bitcoin always before you factor a move. If Bitcoin was to lose a 21 weekly moving average or this level and keep going down, then when it comes to Ethereum, that level's lost. It's going to keep coming down as well. So you got to keep you got to keep your eye on both of them, right? Yes. Hi, what's your monitor size? 4K. So I've got an LG 4K screen, and what is it? The pigmentation is 4K, so it's pretty good. What is it? Does it tell you? No, it doesn't. So I'm buying another one. So why I bought this? You can see this, right? This is the reason I bought it. I'm going off the tracks, but I can see many charts. I don't need many monitors. I can just have one that gives me all these charts. That's why I'm going to buy another one. So Chainlink is on my left. I can see how Chainlink's still bearish along there. So that was a key level. It's still below it. It's trying to get past. So Chainlink's not there. VET. Let's see what VET's doing. Oh, look at the wick on VET. That dumped significantly, and look at that. Oh, mate, missed that one. Okay. So VET, I was bullish on VET until it broke that level. Here we go. That it was doing this channel. I'll look at VET next. Anyway, so there. That's the reason why I have a 4K screen. Makes sense. We'll be grateful looking at the bigger picture. Yeah, definitely. they also, so mine's an LG, and it's got by 5,000 by 2,000 pigmentation. Anyway, off the topic. So we were covering Ethereum, weren't we? Where are we? Oh, that was on the same chart. Okay. Here's ADA with against Ethereum. So a lot of people are interested in ADA, right? Like me. And see what ADA did against Ethereum. So always have a strategy. Not just like, you always have Bitcoin or Ethereum in the picture. Which one's going to give you more value? So what we had here, we lost that level. ADA lost that level against Ethereum. So long, in my opinion, ADA's not going to have a chance against Ethereum. And historically, you can see what happened. We drop against Ethereum a lot. ADA. Even this one was a great run. It's done against Ethereum. All this is going to do is just keep going down. So Ethereum is going to be, in my opinion, a better investment in the long run. This will, you can see, when was this? 2019. This was here July 2020, and we peaked here against Ethereum. Can we see a pattern? No, we can't. That was actually, that was meant to be our support level as well, and we dropped below it. So that's very important. So this is ADA against Ethereum, and we just lost that key level. So I did switch when Ethereum was going strong. I did switch from ADA to Ethereum, and yeah, this is. So I'm going to look for the next bounce. There was a bullish divergence. That was a wick. So we had it on a smaller time frame, a bullish divergence, but you can see it might go higher. But that is a resistance level. It's my opinion that this is going to just grind this out. ADA. So if this comes up once more up to here, I would sell. Although this one here. I wasn't planning to do all this. I think that's all I'll do. Continue the formation. I can see here a bit of a reversal on the shorter time frame. Let me look at the 4 hour. Actually, no. It's more sideways at the moment. So we had a bit of a bullish divergence going up. Energy's up. But this green RSI on the 4 hour hasn't passed the 50%. And this, yeah, I don't see it going above this anytime soon. I think it'll range, potentially range here, and then probably down. Rest in peace, yes. Is that what RIP means? I'm not sure. Okay. But Sol looks good. Now let's look at Sol against Bitcoin. And the good thing about this chart or this screen, you don't have to lose focus. So if I were to do Sol, come on, BTC. Let's what how's it comparing against Bitcoin? Look at that, nice, beautiful. So Sol is doing well against Bitcoin, and let's look at the 4 hour. Okay, there's no divergence. It's looking good. The 4 hour chart is good with Sol against Bitcoin. So just off the top of the bat, this is the 10. This is the 10. Let me see. Let me just get rid of that. Yeah, that is my 10. 1020 EMA. You can see how the 10 EMA is working as support on the pullbacks. This is against Bitcoin. And there was a formation here on the 4 hour. That was this was a bullish candle here. This green one was our entrance. Even though it was rejected, if you got there, so I suppose you need to look at the small time frame to find the entrance. Similarly, now we are having another formation. Come on. This is our resistance level. This is our support level for Sol. against Bitcoin. Here's a bullish candle. It's got another hour to finish. So this is our current level here for the 4 hour. If this closes above, it's bullish. But my entry point will be on the smaller time frame. Let's see what if it gives us. Oh yeah, there you go. I'll just bring this up a bit. Currently, we're seeing a reversal pattern taking place. We've got, if this on the 4 hour closes above this, or even this when this goes above, that's when I'll buy in. I missed this component. So 4 hours a good chart. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. Look, just missed it. So Sol has a good trend, and go with the trend while it keeps going. Just want to find a good entry. So this candle, if it closes the way it is, it's a buy signal, in my opinion. Can you touch on link, mate? All right. The reason why I pick Sol is because it's got a good trend, upward trend. It's also got the Livermore formation as well. Let's look at Link. I was interested in Link as well. I did sell, I did flip, and now it recovered very well. However, you can see this level is resistance. So, as you can see my line, this level is resistance against Bitcoin, and there was a wedge there, wedge formation with the retest. Okay, actually there's two parts to this one. One's there, and then the other one is there, this line here. So this line was the important line, and beautiful breakout. Now, let's look at the chuck on the indicators. Yeah, okay. Let's see. That's a 12-hour. Let's look at the daily. Still a bit of downward pressure. You can see there on the daily. Still downward pressure, and this is a bit top. So my suggestion will be, I can see on the daily, I got the 10, 20 moving ribbon moving average. I'll be looking for a bullish candle for an entry. That at the moment there is none. Even though this is a good wick, it is not showing it's bullish. It's just neutral. So it's likely. So we had that there, and we've got this flat level there. We want to see it break this level. That's I want to play it safe because this could keep going down as well. But I think it's going to range here, and I've got this channel. So let's see here. This is a can I use this channel, this level here? Yeah, maybe. So maybe buy along this line. Even though there's wicks, don't sell them. At this point, I think Link's going to do well. It's one of those ones that fun shit, but when it goes well, that formation, this formation is telling me that Link's target is at least this level here, and it hasn't hit it against Bitcoin. And there's another formation. Let's see if that's the case. Yeah. This is even better. I didn't see that. So guys, there you go. What it's doing is, let me just get rid of that. You can see it, right? This is nice. So we've got all this resistance, and now we broke it. It's retesting this resistance lines for support, and it's passing. That's going to go. So this is the level I see link against Bitcoin coming up to there. That's the first target, and it's retesting that support line a lot, and it's going to go. It's going to rock it. No, I don't trade against Bitcoin. No. So my portfolio is two. My portfolio is accumulation of Bitcoin, and I'll do it any way I can. The other one is accumulation of cash. So if Ethereum is going to and Link are going to do better than Bitcoin, I'll flip my Bitcoin holdings to that. So if I have 5 Bitcoins and I use Ethereum and Link to make 7 Bitcoins, and then we're in a bull market. Well, when we hit the top, say 200 grand, 100 grand, my Bitcoin's going to make a big difference, right? What happens with the alts is they have their cycles, and when the alts are finished with their top, it's Bitcoin's turn. And with my other portfolio, which is just cash, I do those high leverage trades with small money. So hence why I have a Binance account and an FTX account. FTX is much better in terms of trading and leverage. I don't know what other exchange you guys use, but Binance sucks with leverage, I'll tell you that much. And if I was to give you an example, let me give you an example of Binance, FTX. So here's the FTX account. See how I got it here across here? I can create an account, and what I've done is I say wallet, and I can say I'm going to put 3K into the account. I create a wallet. Going off the track here, and here's my wallet, 3K, and I'm going to use Bitcoin Perpetual. Okay, what's in my wallet? No funds. Now it's 3K. I can transfer, if it lets me. I'm going to transfer my profit wallet to my 3K. I got to pick the USDT. At the moment, I got that much there, so I can transfer that money into my 3K wallet. Okay, and then so I'll pick one. I'll pick this one here, and I'll pick so big Bitcoin. Now my 2K account, and here's the leverage. Look at the leverage. That's the leverage metrics index. I can just slide this across and leverage the crap out of it. So, depending on the settings I put. So with my 2K, I can borrow $22,000, and I can buy Bitcoin with my 2K. And if I stuff up, I only lose 2K. I don't expose the rest of my wallet or my holdings. So do you understand that? I move 2K to a wallet, I isolate that wallet, and the only risk I have is that 2K. And when I leverage and if I stuff up, I just lose 2K. I don't lose the rest of my money. Now in Bitcoin or Binance, if you don't leverage, I'm going to put, say, $60,000 to buy one Bitcoin. Here I can leverage $2,000 and I can buy a third of Bitcoin. So I don't expose my big holdings. And I'll give an example here. In my main account, I have a Bitcoin. Now look how much I can borrow against my, there you go. That's $568,000 against my Bitcoin in my main account. So I can borrow $500,000 to buy Bitcoin with my one Bitcoin, $500,000 I can borrow. I don't know if it's going to let me do it, but it should, and I've done it in the past. So I'm going to borrow $500,000 with my $60,000, and I'm going to buy Bitcoin. Now, let's look at the scenario. If Bitcoin comes down to this level, and I think, yeah, this is a good buy area, I'm going to use my one Bitcoin to buy how many? Maybe 6 Bitcoins. Isolated futures allows you to do that as well on Binance. Yeah, it does. But you know what it does? It doesn't let you leverage. It doesn't let you leverage much. It sucks. It keeps on saying error over, there's been too many borrowings, and so you can't borrow. FTX doesn't do that. So, all right, let's see. So the isolated one, here we go. I can't remember how much I got in there. If I was to borrow, I don't know. No, I haven't across. So with that one, I can borrow how much? I've got 50K there. I can borrow 207,000 at maximum. But the thing is with this one, hold on, here's another one. Right, here's another real good case why FTX is good. Where I put it? Where I put the layer? Let me just get this on the side. I won't lose it. Here's another reason. I'm sort of going off the rails. FTX tells you liquidation price right here. If I was to borrow, and in here it tells you the liquidation price. Right in the same panel, you don't have to fuss around. If I was to short this, I just say sell, and I'll short it, and I can leverage it. Like all in the same interface. There's no jumping around, borrowing and selling. It's all in the same one action. I could short, I can long with leverage. Anyway, let's go back to what I was talking about. I did make a post on 4th. I'm looking at it. So I did buy at this level. I'm taking my chance. It might come up to there. 4th is a new one for FTX and Binance. I don't think I'm FTX. I'm Binance, and it's one I'm keeping an eye on. All right, so we did cover Link, and that really looks. Now that I've seen that, I'm really interested in buying Link against Bitcoin. The only thing that right now is there's downward pressure, so I will need to look at the 4-hour chart, and it's sideways at the moment, so there's no clear direction. I want to see what Bitcoin does before I buy LTX. Let me look at the comments. That's awesome, FTX. Yes, it is. I reckon so. What I'm watching on YouTube and a few others, they're starting to move to FTX. And if you're going to move to FTX, I'll put if you could do me a favor, if you're going to move to FTX, register with my referral code. How's that for you? Do me a favor, please. Then we get the discounts. So here's my referral code. Please register. If you're going to FTX, register there. Much appreciated. There you go. On the chat. All right, can we take a look at VET? Yes, definitely. That's another one I've been trading for a while. Been doing well with it, actually. Oh, that's not well. Okay. So VET went parabolic, and I can see here, this was another trend line I was looking at. So it closed above that trend line, which is good. And then I had this parallel trend line, and it closed above that as well. So it bounced very well. I had imagined, I thought this might actually work, where it might break out from there, but it capitulated all the way down, didn't it? That's like, good thing about this one is, this lump hump came back to the root level. So it's done. I can't see it going down further. So this is significant. It's like a reset button here. And you can see my line there. That's currently resistance. Let's just get rid of a few things. Just looks too messy. Just get rid of all that. This is my previous calculation. I don't need this anymore. I need that. Where is it? Where is this? I might still need this though. I'll just move that across because they were my targets. The 361s, 3618. And we had a triple top. So triple top, rejection. We had that formation, broke out point, retest, and dump. So it was clear where to short. I shorted B&B, but I didn't short the vet because the basket wouldn't go down. So I didn't think it might drop that much. That was my mistake. That's a beautiful move to short. If I was short that, 44%. All the opportunities. You just got to keep an eye on it. So, in my opinion, this is the major resistance level. So let's see with the fib level. If I was use that to the top, let's see, just bring it into the dark. Okay. Now I might have to adjust this because we've got a few wicks. No, that's fine right there. That's perfect. So actually, this line should be up here. Although I think so, I might have to adjust this slightly to bring that 618 a bit lower. Yeah, so that's it there. So that's a major resistance. And looking at this formation, it's my opinion that we'll range here before we break it. And then we'll have another double top here. But it might be a short thing and keep going. So that is definitely on the, there's going to be accumulation here, reaccumulation. So while Bitcoin's doing what it's doing, I would look at this level, the 382 level, for the buying the dips. Buy. I don't know if it's going to drop more than that to that level. So we've got the 5 fib level here. So that's currently support. And it's acting as support right now. So yeah, so VET, this is my opinion, VET around here. Anything in this zone, I think is a buy. And it's got well, it's a good project for logistics and all the rest. So I do think, and based on this formation, it's done a good pullback. It's already done actually. So can we say this pullback's finished? So that's A, B, yeah. It could pull back to this line here. This one here. It could. Yeah. So anyway, that is my buy zone. Yeah, it might pull back a bit more because we've got 2 weeks tested there. So it's just going to range. It's a very ugly chart, but that's my opinion so far. ADA, let's look at ADA. So ADA doesn't look that well, even though it's bounced. You can see my orange, black, and green moving averages have crossed over. So this to me looks like a distribution formation. So ADA might be able to ADA might go down more. And that sort of makes sense with Ethereum. Ethereum's going up against ADA. ADA's trying to hold this, but this was the accumulation area. It's come back up, but ADA doesn't look strong at all. But then we might do a dot thing, wouldn't it? What dot did. Dot came from behind, bloody thing. So I couldn't look at that. ADA might come down a bit more before it breaks this level. But I would use this level as a means for making the trade. This line here. If it breaks that on the breakout, I would buy, depending on the level as well. And so if we look at, actually let's look at Dodge for a sec. Okay, Dodge is yeah, Dodge is all over the place, doesn't it? 618 level, it's dropped, and now it's regained it. Oh, I'm not touching Dodge. Dot and ADA are pretty much the same. See how ADA Dot's gone up, and it's just done that topping off formation and dropped. I don't expect it, but it's the chart's telling me that Dot's going to go down more to this level here. Somewhere around here, I think Dot will come. This is a distribution formation. I think ADA's similar. Could be wrong, but this doesn't look good. I mean, like the way it's just dropped, it went down below this base level. It might continue accumulation at this level, but if Bitcoin's to drop, I think this will drop more. So that's Dot. Cake's all right. Pancake. So that looks all right. It's not the best. There's a bit of charts, but all right. Let's look at BNB, the last one. Yeah, BNB is a bit confusing. So this harmonic played out, and then it looks like I looked at it and line in the sand. It's possible that BNB will go that formation. So I'll get rid of this. So it's a bit confusing. I think that's what's taking place. And then see if it's going to go down or it's going to go up. This was the accumulation area, so that's all right. So if it comes down here, keep buying it because that's a strong support area, similar to VET in a way. So BNB did a nice parabolic move, topped out, pulled back hard to a support level, which is probably the 618 level. Yeah, 618, and it's holding. So I think what it's doing is another big macro structure, starting a double bottom, and it's trying to move up to the next level. I suppose this level here. That's the next support level. Can I hold it? Yeah. So I don't see anything significant moving in there. Ethereum's going to give you more of a chance. I'm looking at the time, guys, and I think I'm done. Yeah. What have I not covered? So I did Bitcoin, Ethereum, dominance. Let's do the total market cap as the last one. Where are we? Yeah, that was my Bitcoin dominance. This is my fractal. I think this is what's going to take place in the short term, but we'll see. BTC, no, what was it? Total cap. And I noticed, so I put posts on this, right? the total market cap, you can see my RSI level. It's just dropped below it, right here. So that's a bearish move, which I suppose reflects Bitcoin in a way. How low can this go is the question. Hopefully not too low. Previous low was down here. When was that? That was in March 2020. Oh, that will be the, I think, COVID incident. So I wouldn't pay attention to that. However, here, September 2019, so market cap dropped all the way down here. I don't think that's going to happen. That doesn't make sense. How reliable is this? I could get this wrong. So what's that? That's the daily. Let's look. So look at the market cap. There's a thing about ascending wedges that can and do overperform. We had our A, B, C, D. Realistically, E could be there, and sometimes it pops its head up and then down, overperforms, which what it did, and that's our point E. So now we come to the support level, and we saw the wick in there, and based on this structure, it's either going to touch this trend line or this horizontal level. At the moment, this level is playing support. I can see there, the candle's there. But it's my opinion that it's already come down here and it's wicked back up. I think this is going to be resistance and it's going to push it back down. That sort of is in line with Bitcoin, I suppose. So that could be aligned with Bitcoin hitting the 42K. And this is the support level there. I can't explain how it could get down here though, based on this structure. That's scary, that one. Hopefully I'm wrong. But that's a big pullback on the total market cap. This could be attributed to it could only be Bitcoin losing a lot of value, really. So that's scary. But I could be wrong with this formation. Let's see what else is there. Can this be? Could be like this. Could be like that. So there might be. So this could be wrong. Yeah. The formations could take any shape. Maybe. Yeah, maybe this is the case. So I can ignore this level here. The reason why I'm saying that is it doesn't make sense why it will go all the way down there. This RSI is going down itself. But yeah, we need to keep an eye on this level. I reckon if Bitcoin breaks this level, sorry, it breaks this one here, that's a bear market. Definitely. So if Bitcoin, if the total market cap drops below this, that's the bear market. Because that's a significant few billions or trillions actually coming out of the market. So currently, that's why this structure might make sense. I don't know, we'll see. But we do have this trend line, right? And it broke that. So it might just mean that this is the level it's meant to go to. That's the target. And then and continue on. Anyway, that's my thinking aloud. Can you repeat your analysis on for Bitcoin? Thanks. No, I can't. You can watch the video. Yeah, replay it. This is saved, so you can go over it. Wind it back, and watch what I've been saying. And last one to cover is Litecoin. Okay, that's the last one, guys. And I can take a break. Okay. Yeah, it hasn't changed. So I had this macro harmonic. Perfect. So Litecoin hit my target and pulled back. Surprise. No. That was my target. So it is likely, in my opinion, that Litecoin will pull back more deeper. Yeah, that's my opinion. Because I had this target on this harmonic. The only other target that this harmonic can have. So what I had the 2.6. Let me check. If I was to pull this up, 3.2. Let me just check. I can't remember the numbers on this harmonic. So if we look at harmonic Elliott charts. So is that here? Not now. Sorry, not now. Hold on, that's not the one. Let's go to Google again. Let's look at crab harmonic pattern. That should give me the rest. This is not a good chart. Give me something better. Where are they? Let's see that. $3.6. Okay. So not 3.2, but 3.6. Butterfly harmonic, bat harmonic. Come on. Slow. The bat harmonic 2.6. Okay. So looking at Litecoin, where are we? Where do I have Litecoin? No, I'm getting blind. Okay. So that's 3.2 to 3.6. So we had 2.6. Yeah, that was a 2.6 target. If we were to go 3.6, so it's about $400 if I got it wrong. So there's two possibilities for Litecoin. Based on based on this, I think I got it right because it pulled back a bit, and if I use this swing low to swing high, it's pulled back to the 0.5 Fibonacci. So this zone is acting as support, which is good. I don't see a bullish candle yet. All right. So this is the 12-hour. Although we've got wicks, we don't see a bullish candle, what we want to do, if I just delete all this just for a short time, you can see my moving average, and that's the weekly. So it's been being respected all the way through. And if I was to look at my indicators, let me just add it on. So that's my daily chart. That was a 12. Yeah, definitely Litecoin's got downward pressure. Yeah, it's going to pull back deeper. Sorry to say, because I got both the red, green and red RSI on the bottom. I've got a MACD crossover, and historically, if we look at this Litecoin, when this crosses, this is a selling point. So I'll just give an example. This indicator is pretty good. Crossover, sell. Crossover below 50%, sell. So it's pretty good in that sense. And if I was to buy, crossover 50%, buy on the daily. So if I use this indicator again, I don't see any crossover coming soon. But here there's a crossover, buy. And crossover, buy. So it's a real good indicator telling you when to buy and when to sell. That's why I'm looking at signals for this kind of stuff. It just depends on my I suppose priority. Right now, I can see that perfect there. I can see why that was a support level. So with Litecoin, we had this A, B, C, no, sorry, A, B, C, D, E, or we can do A, B, C, D, E. Right there was your buy signal, did a breakout, found that resistance level, did a retest on this support line, and up it went. Now we come back and retested it, which is not good. That's not a good sign. Because once you do the retest, you don't want to get a retest again. So now what's likely to happen, some formation that will keep breaking down, is my opinion. At the moment, there's no buy signal for Litecoin on the daily. And if I was to look on the 4-hourly, even then, with a resistance level. So it's good. That was a get out zone. That was your time to get out. If it wasn't there, this bear flag, you could say that was the bear flag like that, and that was opportunity to get out, or opportunity to get out. Now we're potentially having another little mini bear flag to come down again. It might be that it might test this level again. But yeah, I don't, long term, I don't see Litecoin doing as good as Ethereum or Link or Sol. That's my opinion for the time being. There are better charts. Okay. Thank you very much. Signed up on FTX. Great. Welcome aboard. I'll leave it at that, guys. Hopefully you've gained from my sharing, and hopefully I gave you some action plans and what levels to look at, and I hope you benefit from it's a good industry, and I don't want you to lose money. I just want you to understand what the charts do. It's not that complicated. You just got to spend time on it. And if you're interested in, here's one thing I have. See what I've done today, and breakdown on crypto. I am planning to do this on a weekly basis, but on subscription. Okay, and it's for people who are interested in learning the charts and understanding the charts. And if you do it on a regular basis, watching someone do it, I suppose, like me, explaining the charts, it will rub off onto you and you'll pick up a lot of things. So if you're interested, I'll just put a link for that. I'm almost finished setting up the payment system, and it's basically $30 a week for 1.5 hour sessions, and I'll call it a mentoring program. And basically, I do a Zoom session, like what we did here, live streaming, but a Zoom, and we do the one-on-ones with a small group of people. Okay, so I'll paste a link in this stream right here. If you're interested, give me a call and or sign up, and we'll get the ball rolling. So if you feel like you're going to benefit from these kind of tutorials and also understanding charts, this is the one for you. It's not a strategy, how to trade. This is giving you understanding on charts and strategies, which I have is a separate course and a separate subscription package that is more involved. But this one here, which is $30 a week, it's not much. I think it's fair. I spend 1.5 hours each week picking specific coins for you to understand where it's going and your investment plan in it. So I'll leave it at that. Enjoy your day. It's a beautiful day Saturday. I'm going to watch UFC. Hopefully it comes online. And all the best. Talk to you soon. Bye.